Hi, Shane Ellison for PC Reality TV, and as you probably guessed, today's episode is dedicated to drinking wine. Now, cheers. I'm going to introduce this guy in a minute, but before we begin, there's one caveat, and that is I don't condone wine drinking as something healthy to do, period. But if you're going to do it, this is the wine that you want to drink because it's sulfite-free, which is different than organic. And this guy's a master, so he's going to tell us more about it in a minute. But a sulfite is basically a compound that's added to wines that potentiates the hangover. Why they add it and who's adding it and how much they're adding? Well, that's why I brought in Don Berdahl, who is my good friend and also co-winemaker and partner of Our Daily Red. And they make the world's most phenomenal sulfite-free wines. But it always wasn't that way, was it?
No.
You used to sell wines that had sulfites in them.
I did. That's actually how I started. When you're dealing with conventional wines, what you have is the grapes come in, they're hit with sulfur dioxide, usually in the hopper as we're crushing the grapes.
Sulfur dioxide.
Sulfur dioxide, SO2. Yep, exactly. They're hit with sulfur immediately to mitigate some of what they would consider the process.
Gas.
It's actually usually a powder that's been mixed with water.
So it's sprayed on.
It is. It can be sprayed. There's liquid SO2. There's all different types.
And the people put this shit in their bodies and they don't even know it because you can't taste it, right?
Correct. It's used as a deterrent to oxygen and bugs and all kinds of things. When you add sulfur dioxide to the wine barrels or whatever you're doing, you're working with it, you have to wear a mask. OSHA says you have to wear a mask.
Insane.
Literally, yeah, because it's every cell in your body wants to just run from the sulfur dioxide. It's absolutely just heinous. I don't know how else to put it. It's heinous. There's a reason SO2 is a powerful preservative. It's because living organisms absolutely can't stand it,
and that's what they're putting in your wine.
They run from it, and so it's just really it's a very powerful preservative. It is what it is.
Whose idea was it to put it in our wine?
Well, it stops spoilage. So if you're the Roman Empire and you're marching around, conquering people, it's handy to have your wine not turn into vinegar. So they would add SO2. So that's where it started. So it's been a traditional way of doing things. And in fact, still today, Europe and the US disagree about sulfur dioxide in wines and whether or not that lets the wine be organic, which I'll explain momentarily.
A lot of wine enthusiasts say you have to have the sulfites in the wine.
Yeah.
Which obviously isn't true.
Correct.
So is it difficult to make this wine without sulfites?
It's not. I wish I could say I had some proprietary, fantastic,
No, you should say that.
Trademark.
You should say it. It'll make it look really good.
Okay. I wish I could say that, but actually to assuage people's fears or concerns or questions.
Yeah, do you replace the sulfur dioxide with something else that we don't know about?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Organic wine in the US, to be organic, you may not add sulfur dioxide to the wine, and you must have 9 parts per million or less naturally occurring sulfites, which I'll segue into, I'm sure is going to be one of your next questions. Yes, there are naturally occurring sulfur dioxide molecules or compounds inside of the grape skins. Does the wine have it when you're first fermenting it? Yes, it's naturally in there. However, what happens is we ferment the wine, the yeast holes die, the yeast eats the sugar, converts to alcohol. The SO2 basically binds to the dying yeast holes, falls to the bottom. You have this sludge called lees. The clean wine is racked off. We have about 3 parts per million left naturally. We add malolactic bacteria. We do the same thing. The wine settles over time, and then you pull the clean wine off. Voila, 0 parts per million sulfur.
And those 3 parts per million get taken out with that last process.
And all of our wine tanks are federally certified. They have to be by a lab that's accredited by the federal government.
So you basically have a 2-step process that gets rid of all the sulfites, even the naturally occurring sulfites.
That is correct. They are naturally occurring in the grape skin.
You guys hear that? Don't let anybody tell you that it's impossible to have a wine that's not sulfite-free.
Absolutely, because I deal with that with retailers all the time. People that have been in the business like me that were on conventional
they're the experts,
side.
Man.
They say, "Oh, you can't make wine without sulfur dioxide." I said, "Well, actually, you can because the government's not going to let me put no sulfites detected on the bottle if there are sulfites detected in the wine. So very stringent. I have to go through the FDA, the whole rigmarole. They're not going to let me put the USDA organic sticker on the wine if there is sulfur dioxide in the wine itself. So
what was the turning point for you, though, as a wine enthusiast, to say, when did you say, wait a minute, I want to have wine that has no sulfites? What was it? Was it because you knew it was toxic? Were you getting headaches? Did you have family members getting sick? Were you getting too many hangovers? Did you want to have wine without getting sick? What was going on?
That's a lot of questions,
okay.
Boy. But that's okay. Actually, I was fortunate enough to meet my business partner, Tony. He brought his wine to the facility that I was working at as organic, and we parceled off some of the winery. It was certified organic. I learned about his winemaking and his winemaking process, basically in a business client relationship. So I saw what he was doing, and really what it did is it gave me a dichotomy or juxtaposition, whatever you want to say. Here I am making conventional wine. I'm adding PVPP, which is an ionized plastic. It's a charged plastic molecule.
Plastic too, in addition to sulfite. See, there's a lot of other additives that they put into the wines,
copper
but
sulfate.
we're keeping it really simple, and a ton of sugar. To make it more addicting, but we're talking about sulfites here.
Yep. Yes. So I see all that stuff going in, and I see what goes into conventional winemaking, and then here is my buddy, my partner, making these wines very simply, paying attention, adding yeast to ferment it, adding malolactic bacteria, which obviously these are all natural compounds, organic, certified organic compounds, and paying attention to the winemaking and just really making a fresh product that goes into the market and is consumed, and it's clean. I started drinking his wines, and I absolutely noticed my body chemistry accepted the wines much more readily. It is what it is, and I've always been interested in organic, and you've heard me tell you this story. If a pound of organic bananas are $5 more a pound, well, most of us can't afford that, so we're not going to buy it. Tony was making inexpensive organic wines, on a very low, smaller scale, and I said to him, I'm like, dude, you could take this thing and offer it to a lot of people that are interested, like me, at a fair price, and really give somebody a great product for a good price. And so that was my epiphany, is seeing the difference in the two, and then seeing how it affected my body chemistry, how clean it was.
You nail it with that. It definitely affects your body chemistry in a positive light rather than a negative light. Most people who try this, family members and whatnot, they always say, I can't do red wine, it gives me a headache. They have this, they never get headaches, they're hooked.
Yep.
And I think your company's proof that you can have a product with less ingredients and charge less money. Whereas usually the case is less ingredients, cleaner ingredients, more money.
Right.
We're talking anywhere for $5 to $10 for any of these bottles.
Correct. We have a brand we make at Trader Joe's nationwide, an exclusive label. It's called Well Red, $5.99. A lighter style Rhone blend. These two wines here, Cote Zero, which is also a Rhone blend, a little bit different than Well Red. Price $6.99 to $7.99. Same thing with Daily Red. Again, at different stores, you're talking about $1 difference. And then all our varietal wines, we make a Zin, a Syrah, a Cabernet, and a Merlot. Those are all probably $9.99. If you live on the East Coast, it's probably $10.99 to $11.49. But transportation costs.
Whole Paycheck, right?
Go to Whole Paycheck. I love Whole Paycheck. They sell thousands of our cases.
Trader Joe's right here, Well Red, $5.99. I love it.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
And we sell thousands of cases of them, and we're very blessed to have it. So yeah, we wanted to make a red table wines that were affordable. Hence, my partner came up with this great idea, Our Daily Red, 14, 15 years ago.
This is like Jedi mind marketing. Our Daily Red. It's insidious, man.
It is, and we want you to, consume it more than once, on a daily basis.
What happened to my rule of drinking once a week?
I understand that. I have just one glass.
Can you make one that says Our Weekly Red?
I can, but I won't sell as much, so I eschew that.
Okay.
Let's talk about. I know this will be your next question, because we're segueing into the daily portion. You open a bottle of our wine, it lasts a day or two less than a conventional wine. I'm not going to lie about that. It doesn't have preservatives in it. Having said all that, you know, I've opened it before. It's good for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, it lasts a lot longer than I thought it would.
Yes.
I put it in the fridge and I'm like, wait, I don't even remember. It could have been 3 days. I drink it, it's fine.
Yep, it does last longer than people think. Especially red wines have a natural antioxidant property to them, so they're receptive to hanging in there a little bit. It's just never been an issue. I mean, if you're going to let it sit around for 3 weeks, yeah, you got a problem. But I'd say that about a conventional wine if you left it sitting around for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And you know, our wines, you know, they're made to have it last. Some they're easily consumable.
They taste great. They're ultra clean. I mean,
they're fantastic
this
values.
is my favorite so far, the Zen, which I didn't even know I liked them.
What else can I tell you about these wines?
Can you have an organic wine if it's not organic grapes?
You may not. Okay. No, it starts
but you
with
can
that.
have, this is an important distinction, but you can have an organic wine that has sulfites added.
No.
You can have organic wine that has grapes with sulfites on them.
Yes, and okay, wait. Let me get this really clear for you guys. Basically, what happens is you buy the organic grapes. Once you add sulfur, it's no longer organic.
Okay.
You may call that wine made with organic grapes. Those wines, you buy the organic grapes, you bring it in. The winemaking rules get thrown out the door. You can treat them almost like a conventional wine. There's a lot of things that you can do with those wines. You can made with organics. Really, all that's telling you is it was made with organic grapes. How it's processed is different, and that's the reality. In our case, you know, we are fully organic. So we're buying organic grapes, we bring them in. We're not adding superfood and diammonium phosphate, which you can in a made with organic wine to help the yeast eat the alcohol, eat the sugar and convert to alcohol.
It's like a catalyst or a potentiator?
Exactly.
Disgusting.
Yeah, all things that help the
steroids
yeast.
for yeast or what?
Pretty much. That's exactly. That's a good analogy. So those are things that are allowed in made with organic winemaking, as an example. So
he didn't say it, but I would say if you see a bottle of wine that says made with organic grapes, doesn't mean it's really organic. You don't want to drink it. Go sulfite-free. Go sulfite-free. You can get this stuff anywhere.
It's in a lot of places. You know, it's in grocery stores. Some organic people don't like that. But hey, you go to Whole Foods. If you live in Florida, we're in 700 Publix. You know, in the Southeast, we're in, you know, we want to make it a brand. We want to make it affordable.
The process, make it healthy.
And make it available to people, like what you're doing, so that people can, you know, partake in it. That's what makes it wonderful, is that we're making a product that people can be a part of, and it's not, I'm not hiding it.
You can have a great time, don't spend a lot of money, and you don't sabotage your health.
Exactly.
We have a saying here at the house. Don, this is Don Berdahl, if I didn't say it already. Don made wine, and wine don't hurt.
Yep.
All right, so that's Don Berdahl for Our Daily Red, and sulfite-free, the only sulfite-free wine available. So thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me, Shane. You know how much I love you. This is awesome.
Let's have more.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to have another one of these.
What am I having?